Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
He is no longer a Buck. All right, that's the end of the story. Let's talk about the guys that went out there and won the game.
Merry Christmas. Say, I love football. Say this. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Tampa. Tampa. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Oh my God, she's so smart and she's so precious. I love her to death.
Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Victory Monday. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. How you guys doing with all the events that happened yesterday? Lots of things to talk about tonight. We'll have the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former coach, scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions, on with us in just a little bit, talking about the AB situation. We got some updates today, some stories. But before we do that, of course, how do we start off the Sports Web live here on I Love St. Pete? Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. And this is brought to you by tonight, BetUS.com. That's right, guys. If you want to bet on your favorite team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or around the National Football League, NCAA, make sure you put in this promo code. And hold on, Leo, because I'm doing a live read right now. So great timing as always. BetUS, the promo code is TSW22. Do you know what TSW stands for? The Sports Web. And of course, if you sign up, you get a 125% sign up bonus by using that promo code. Once again, TSW22, whether it's betting on NFL playoffs, NCAA, NHL, NBA, golf, whatever you want to bet on, even UFC, definitely do it. BetUS.com. Use the promo code TSW22. So without further ado, and let's go. Let's get him on. The legend himself, from a coach, scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions, It's Sports Mag, Mr. Leo Haggerty. Let's get his music on. Here we go. All right, Leo Haggerty, I know you're on with me. We got to talk about this AB situation, of course. Just crazy. I would call it the meltdown in the Meadowlands, if you will. Meltdown at MetLife. Let's go out to BA, hear what he had to say, and go right back out to you. Here's BA on the AB situation, and then we'll go out to Scott Reynolds, a Pewter Report, who also had a question for BA about the AB situation, live here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Here we go.
I don't know that he was.
Did he say that he was, or was there a dispute
No.
about that?
No,
He just refused to go in, or can you tell us more about it?
not really. I mean, what happened is pretty obvious what happened. So, he left the field and that was it. We had a conversation and he left the field. Yeah. Very hard. And I wish him well. I hope if he needs help, get some. And, it's very hard because I do care about him.
So I just wanted to clarify. So there was not an issue with regards to injury. The conversation you had with Antonio Brown was not one regarding his ankle injury.
No.
What did AB object to regarding to what you said to make him want to leave the stadium during the game?
You have to ask him, brother. I know. I don't have a clue.
Okay. And then finally, was there any issue or displeasure on the team's part with the way that AB handled his rehab for his ankle injury?
No, none whatsoever. He was cleared to play last week, played good, cleared to play this week.
All right, welcome back to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. So I go out to the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, and I said this on my monologue yesterday on the Sports Web. And the over 30 years of watching football, I have never seen this display in my life. In fact, I was watching it with a close friend. We were watching NFL Sunday Ticket, and you couldn't hear the sound. I thought they were showing like a pregame of Brown running around without his shirt on because he was trying to look tough in the cold, and actually this was going on live. Your thoughts of this whole situation, this debacle?
Well, Peter, what you got to understand about the NFL and about anything with football, the sideline of a football team is chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally chaos during the game. So I probably maybe 2 or 3 people knew what was going on. And they may probably told him, hey, look, this is not the way you want to go out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're burning every bridge in the world right now. But I'll be honest with you, Peter, I haven't seen that in a while. I mean, I've seen players take off their equipment and go in. But he did it with ferocity, my SAT word.
Very nice. What do you make of the situation? I mean, all week long, he's been dealing with this ankle injury. He's been resting. He's been suspended. Supposedly it was good to go. He had 100 yards receiving last week. It didn't seem like there was a problem last week. And now what you come to find out is the reason why he didn't go back into the game, because according to Jay Glazer of Fox Sports, they wanted him in the game. In fact, this is coming also from Skip Bayless from Undisputed. BA wanted him in the game so he could get his incentives. And a lot of fans out there said, you know, the reason why the Bucs didn't have him in the game or benched him or cut him or whatever is because they didn't want him to get the incentives. That's not true. They're trying to win the game. So to me, what's more believable at that point? Is it the fact that this player basically just gave up? And because Tom Brady, and this is according to Skip Bayless, was going to Gronkowski more than him, and he basically said, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this because I'm not the center of the universe? Or do you think he was legitimately injured, and that's the reason why he didn't want to go into the game?
Peter, I don't even want to speculate on any of that, simply because I wasn't there. Everybody who wants to talk about it, they weren't there. There was a conversation between Coach Arians and Antonio Brown.
Okay.
I know that. Now, what was said, we're never going to know, because it's going to be a he said, she said, and Arians is not going to tell anybody.
Right.
That's for sure. He went through that today, and it's not going to happen in that sense. So that's a problem, because everything is supposition and innuendo right now.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Peter, we don't know. Does the guy have mental issues? Oh, I would think there's no doubt about that,
Mm-hmm.
that he needs help. But, I mean, we're talking about CTE today and everything, and we're talking about, you know, just problems. Peter, the kid needs help. Let's be honest. He needs help. And they're going to have to – the Bucs had no choice. They had to cut him loose. You could not put up with that.
Well, it's interesting you say that because Adam Schefter of ESPN is reporting that the Bucs have not cut him yet. To me, it's just a formality. They're trying to figure this situation out with Jason Light. Do you feel like they're going to pull a Keyshawn here where they could possibly deactivate Brown so you get him suspended? He has no threat of going to the Packers or the Kansas City Chiefs or a playoff-bound team, and you can prove that with his antics on the field. Do you think the NFL would sign off on that, or do you think Jason Light and ownership would do that?
Well, Peter, that's what I suggested when it first came out. I said, you want to suspend him,
Mm-hmm.
And just inactivate him. But then you have to pay him. But I don't think that's the biggest worry, because I think he would be in Dallas in a heartbeat if they cut him loose, especially after Dallas had the injuries
To Gallup. Correct.
yesterday.
Right.
So, everybody said, well, could Mike McCarthy control him? I said, we got to control him for his 2 games.
That's it.
That's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know where they want to go with this. If I were Jason Light, I would not want to cut him. I would find a way to keep him from going somewhere else right now, because everybody above him, look what the Rams have done with Odell Beckham. And
Yep.
that's what's kind of sitting there, I think, in Jason Light's mind. I mean, if we cut him loose, he's going to end up in Green Bay or Dallas.
Do you think that's where they go? Do you expect him to be deactivated in the next 36 to 48 hours?
I don't think they'll deactivate him, but I think what they'll do is they'll try to come up with something just to keep him from getting out of his contract and go somewhere else. I think they just make him inactive the next week,
Right.
and the following week, and then you go from there.
We're on with the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former coach, scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions and Sports Mag. All that good eating at the Outback Bowl. Of course, I know you're full. I'm definitely full. We're always full here of sports talk, not the other thing there, fans. Nice try. You thought I was going to say it. I didn't. With all that being said, in your opinion, if you're a GM of an NFL football team or an owner, are you signing off on an AB? I get it. He has talent, but he also has a pattern of behavior. And basically, as I tried to explain to the fans when I went nuclear last night on the post-game edition of the Sports Web, he quit on your team. What makes you think, first, you can trust him, and second, he's not going to do that again?
Peter, he's either the dumbest guy in the world or the smartest guy in the world. Here, let me explain that statement.
Sure.
The dumbest guy, he is sitting on the precipice.
Wow, you're full of it tonight. Great words.
I am full of it. Of $1 million bonus.
Right.
Three $333,000
Correct.
activators.
Right.
He was going to hit. Now, people have come out and said, well, the Bucs didn't want to, they want to try to get rid of him so they didn't have to pay $1 million. Understand this. $1 million is walking around money to an NFL team.
Correct.
That's pocket change. Either he's the dumbest guy or he's the smartest guy in the world and figured, hey, they got to cut me. Now I can make a deal somewhere else and maybe make more than $1 million. I don't think that's the case. But again, we'll see how this. I don't think we've heard the last of Antonio Brown in terms of how this is going to play out. This scenario may go on for a week or two.
Well, he was lucky he didn't get tackled by a security guard that was on. Somebody who told me this in the know.
Forget the security guard. I don't know if you saw it, but New Jersey State Police, the finest in the country,
right,
were heading toward him. And I'll tell you what, that was going to be a Billy Club incident. Trust me.
Well, maybe he needs to get Billy clubbed. Again, I'm not making fun of mental illness, but I think it's kind of interesting how people say, well, he has mental illness now, but he didn't have mental illness last week. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not about to sit here and say he doesn't have some problems. But then afterwards, he decides to try to get an Uber, and then he makes a rap song. You can't make this up. Pit, not the palace. By the way, he did snake Tom Brady. He did snake Bruce Arians. He did snake the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, buddy, you absolutely made the best rap song of all time about yourself. And consequently, it's always about AB and himself. Mr. Big Chest, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Leo Haggerty. Let's talk about yesterday's game. Brady and the Bucs have to come back. In fact, it is the 9th time that Brady has done this in the 4th quarter in overtime, beating the Jets overall 28-9. And with the touchdown to Grayson at the end of the game, 40th touchdown of the season. I know what you're saying about Aaron Rodgers being in the MVP, but with that performance yesterday, have you changed your mind, or is it still Rodgers for you for MVP?
Peter, again, we're going to have to determine what most valuable player is. Is Tom Brady having an MVP season? There is no doubt about it. 44, 34, or 24 years old. This is an MVP season. Is he the most valuable player in the league?
Mm-hmm.
No, only because of how bad the Packers are if Aaron Rodgers isn't in there. I think the Buccaneers still win 6, 7, 8 games without Brady, just because they've got enough talent to make that happen.
Right.
Peter, how about, and again, everybody's talking about how the Jets went for it on 4th down. I thought that was the dumbest coaching move in the world.
Well, there's a follow-up story to that now. I've been doing a little bit of research. It's amazing when you do a little bit of research what happens. But actually, Robert Saleh was upset, and just paraphrasing, he kind of threw his offensive coordinator underneath the bus because, in fact, it was not supposed to be Zach Wilson in the quarterback sneak. It was supposed to be Braxton Berrios, who was a Buck killer yesterday on a reverse. And if you would have gotten that, the coach said he would have got a first down communication breakdown, but that's what bad teams do. But you're exactly right. I mean, why not take the field goal at that point? You go for it, I guess, if you feel like you got the play. And even Saleh said, look, yeah, I'm going to take that all day long because you got the greatest of all time. And, of course, it comes back to bite him. So what was your thought on that, and what were your thoughts on the comments from the coach saying Berrios with the reverse?
Well, that's definitely a communication breakdown because, Peter, you're not going to run a quarterback sneak with Sue and Villa sitting in the A gaps. That's just not happening.
Sure.
They're not rooting those two guys out. And again, it's all about risk reward.
Right.
The reward is, yeah, we can win the game. Here's the risk. You're giving the GOAT the football with over 2 minutes to go. I don't care if he has no timeouts. Was there any doubt, Peter, in your mind that the Bucs were going to score?
No, there was no doubt at that point. It doesn't matter what wide receivers on the field, because first, Brady is a Jets killer, and second, if you give him the ball with less than 2 minutes in the game, he's going to kill you. That's what he does. That's called killer instinct, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's called.
Well, and Peter, the last play, I really want to talk to Greg Cosell up at NFL. I'm going to text him. It looks like Brady pumps the out.
He did.
And that throws the safety. Now, the fact that they're playing cover 2, why are they not playing cover 3 or cover 4 and just saying, okay, fine, you got a good touchdown, but we're going to make it stay in bounds. That's just unbelievable that the Jets made dumb play after dumb play. And that's why they're 4-12.
That's why they're 4-12. And look, you've got Saleh, who's a defensive mind, so you don't understand why he's not changing up the defense. But if you look even further, the Bucs are trying to run hurry up. They're not trying to clock the ball. And if you look at it, they go to that right side a lot. They're trying to get up to the line. They get the completion. Of course, Grayson's not able to get out of bounds. It's almost like chess and checkers. They're playing a game of chess, and the Jets are playing checkers, and that's the reason why they lost. But you would expect more out of Saleh at that point. Call a timeout, change your defense up, because you basically played into that Bucs offensive in their wheelhouse.
Well, Peter, I think the Jets were just sitting there going, okay, it's going to happen. Just when is it going to happen?
Right.
And it's just the fact that he went to Johnson and Grayson on almost, and again, I think the Jets figured, okay, he's going to go to Gronk. We're going to bracket Gronk. He's going to go to Evans. We're going to bracket Evans. No one thought he would go to Johnson and Grayson every pass on that drive. I mean, that's just, and again, when that happened like the second or third time, somebody should have got on the horn with the defense coordinator or something and say, hey, we need to change this up because they see what we're doing and they're not afraid to go away from it. And again, it was a definite communication problem. If that was the wrong play they called for the fourth down, and I think because the Buccaneers didn't, clock the ball, it kept their people on the field. They couldn't get anybody off.
Correct.
And they were just afraid to call timeout because they figured, okay, that just gives the Bucs time to reorganize. So again, Peter, it was a cacophony of errors for the Jets.
Well, what was your thoughts about Mr. Grayson yesterday? 6 catches, 81 yards, including the 33-yarder to seal the deal. I mean, this kid has developed overnight, it seems like. And when he's been put in that position, unlike somebody we know, he's been able to step up. So what are your thoughts on Grayson, and can he continue this level of play? I mean, here's a kid who never even played college football. It's amazing at this point. He's a track star, and he's just coming out there and making plays for this team, and they so desperately need that right now with all the injuries to that wide receiving room, right?
And you know what, Peter? When you go back and look at track stars that came out, were successful, there's only one, Bob Hayes.
Yep.
That was it. And, Bob Hayes won the Olympic 100, and he was also a better football player.
Right.
Not too many of them could say that. And a funny story here, Peter, real quick.
Sure.
Carl Lewis went to the same high school as I did.
Okay.
And Carl Lewis lasted 3 days of football camp in high school. First 2 days in shorts, you started hitting the third day, and Carl said, not for me. And that's nothing against him. But wide receiver, you go over the middle, you're going to attract attention. And a lot of those track guys are, Ronaldo Nehemiah was a decent one.
Sure.
But, Willie Gault was a decent one. He was another football player that just ran track. But, again, the fact that this kid never played college football and has the hands he has and the focus that he has. I mean, you got to be figuring running down that sideline. There's the safety coming. I just got to trust the quarterback. He's going to get me the ball before that safety gets there, but I'm pretty much going to get drilled once I catch it, so hold on to it.
Now, Coach, we're on with Leo Haggerty, the former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions at Sports Mag, here live on the evolution of sports talk television. It's the Sports Web, live on I Love St. Pete. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. BA was talking about it today. He's not going to rest any players. In fact, you play to win. You play to get the second seed. That's huge. We're not resting anybody. We're playing to win. Do you agree with that decision? And then on top of that, Mike Evans has an opportunity. I think he's like 40 or 50 yards away from once again getting that 1,000 yards receiving. That would be 8 consecutive seasons, which would be amazing. Is that the right move to play to win to get that second seed so you have at least 2 playoff games at home to start it off?
Peter, they have no choice.
Okay.
Because the Rams aren't playing till 4:25.
Right.
So it's not like, and Peter, I don't know if you watching the Fox broadcast yesterday.
Yeah.
It kept putting up there January 8th and 9th that there were Saturday games and a Sunday night game.
Correct.
And I'm going, are they doing that? I didn't see.
Yes.
I keep looking at the schedule and everybody's playing Sunday. I have no idea who's playing Saturday.
Yep. There's they had the games announced. I believe it's the Chargers and Raiders on Sunday night at 8:20 on NBC. Of course, the other games, but I know they moved the Bucs game to 4:25 on Sunday, which will please some people. Yep.
You know why they did that, Peter?
Why?
Because the Rams are playing at the same time.
Well, there you go. But right.
Yeah, that's huge because if the Bucs would have lost, the Rams could have rested everybody.
Correct.
And still ended up second seed.
Right.
So yeah, I don't like what they're doing with this. because the object was to make sure that everybody, couldn't take advantage of what was happening in front of them.
Sure.
Now, TV is going to rule the roost. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
I was amazed that there wasn't Saturday games already. But yeah, it's an interesting scenario. And I'll tell you what, Peter. Right now, you know who the Bucs will be playing?
They'll be playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
I want no parts of that if I'm the Buccaneers.
Well, they beat the Philadelphia Eagles before, but you're exactly right. I mean, Jalen Hurts, to me, I think he could be the quarterback of the future. I think, look, if you get an opportunity to host a playoff game, which the Bucs haven't gotten a chance since 2008, you'd be happy with that. And that's why you want to fight for that number 2 seed. If you do get the number 2 seed or you get the number 3 seed, I believe you play against the 49ers if you get the 3 seed. If you play 2, then you would play the Philadelphia Eagles, correct?
Well, here's the problem. The Saints have a way of sneaking in still.
How?
And if 49ers get beat, and if the Saints win,
right,
I think they have the tiebreaker. I may be wrong.
Well, the 49ers and the Rams are facing off in Week 18. A 49er win means the Bucs, given the Bucs win, would move ahead of the Rams to become the 2 seed. In that scenario, it would be the Philadelphia Eagles coming to Raymond James in the 2-7 matchup, while the Rams would host the 49ers for the second consecutive week, which kind of takes me back to, I'm trying to think of it. I believe it was 2001 when the Eagles played the Bucs. But the week before, there was a worthless game, and then the Bucs had to travel to Philadelphia and got waxed. Am I not correct about that?
Peter, it was 9/11. It was that year because the Bucs were playing Philly, and the game got canceled till the end of the year. And the Bucs played Eagles down here, and we're playing Eagles the following week. I've never seen a mass exodus of players like that one. You played one series, and that was it.
Yeah.
And again, here's the problem, and I think this definitely saves a lot of head coaches now. Because if the Bucs were playing after the Rams and the Rams locked up the 2nd seed, and the Bucs, no matter what happened, were the 3rd seed, and God forbid 1 or 2 of your really star players got hurt, Arians has opened himself wide open for, every media member to go, why'd you play him?
Sure.
Matter.
And we all know that BA loves those questions and those pressers. We know that by now.
Peter, I know you heard today, but
yep.
Was it getting to ad nauseum about Antonio Brown? I mean, how about I was amazed no one asked him, hey coach, how's the Achilles?
Yeah. Well,
he's obviously in pain. He is not moving well.
Sure.
In fact, he said, look, the doctor's going to tell me to get surgery. I'm going to try to avoid it. But, in another week, he may end up under the knife. No one knows. But I can't believe no one asked him that today.
Yeah.
I think that's a bigger story than Antonio Brown. Hey, is the head coach going to be healthy enough to coach? Forget about COVID. Are you going to be healthy enough to coach?
Well, that guy is going to coach in a phone booth. It doesn't matter. That's BA. He tells it like it is. With that being said, are you surprised by Matt LaFleur's comments today that he's not going to rest in Aaron Rodgers or the Green Bay Packers? They've already locked up the number 1 seed, but they're still going to play their game versus the Lions. Are you surprised by that?
I would be amazed if Aaron Rodgers plays more than a quarter.
Okay.
I would be amazed. Just you want to. Football is a game of repetition. You play every Sunday.
Sure.
That's something you look forward to. And again, I don't think if this game gets to 21-7, I'll be amazed if Aaron Rodgers sees the field again.
You have nothing to gain besides the fact of maybe, killing momentum, but the Packers have been a hot team. Aaron Rodgers still dealing with this toe injury, and they needed this bye. And they're going to get this bye, which is going to help out Rodgers. And then, of course, you have to deal with the elements. And that's the reason why I don't necessarily want the Packers to have number 1 seed. But, of course, the greatness of Kirk Cousins decided not to get vaccinated. And there you go. he has COVID. With all that being said, let's talk some NCAA, switch gears a little bit. The playoffs. I mean, you said it, Alabama versus Georgia. But I was really shocked because, of course, I was the idiot, and I'll say that on this show, on my show, that took Michigan to win the national championship. That was a terrible effort and a terrible game plan by Jim Harbaugh. Make some sense of that, please.
Peter, I'd love to, but I've got nothing to say about either Cincinnati's or Michigan's game plan. What are you not watching film of these guys?
Right.
To beat Alabama, you run the football. That's what Texas A&M did. Florida did it to stay in the game. That's what Arkansas did to stay in the game. That's what LSU did to stay in the game. That's what Auburn did to stay in the game. And Cincinnati just refused to run the football.
Yeah.
And their quarterback was shell-shocked. Jason Ritter, he was a shell of himself. And Michigan, forget about running the football. They couldn't stop anybody. From a defensive standpoint, that I didn't see coming. I really thought they'd be able to play with Georgia in the sense that it was not going to get out of hand. That game was over in a quarter and a half, and that's not good.
So who do you like in this game? Because I know we're going to talk about it before, and then we'll get you out of here on this. Alabama or Georgia, who has the most momentum right now, in your opinion?
Revenge is best served cold.
Cold, yeah.
Georgia is on the revenge trail, that's for sure. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, it's be interesting to see how that game is, because if the teams are even, the coaching is not. So that'll be a problem.
There'll definitely be a problem, but there's no problem here because we've got the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former coach, scout, and now media member of Night Sports Productions. Go ahead and promote yourself, my friend.
Well, if you get a chance, go to itsportsmag.com. Not only on our website, but also on our Facebook page, we have a nice stand-up and stand down from our people that were at the Outback Bowl, and there were 11 of us there. Yes, folks, you heard that right. There were 11 members of Night Sports Production, It Sports Magazine, and the Sports Web covering the game. We had 4 photographers, a producer, and 6 people in the press box with them. So
amazing.
It was a heck of a day, and believe me, they lost money on Peter Blake. He ate enough for a third world country up there.
Well, I learned from the best here. I learned from the legend, Mr. Leo Haggerty. Thanks a lot for, as always, getting me into those special functions and, of course, getting me fed well, because I don't necessarily know how to cook, but I will say this, air fryers save lives. So with that, we'll just let you go. Thanks a lot, Leo Haggerty, for your time here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, all right?
Always a pleasure to be on with the hardest working sports journalist in the Tampa Bay area.
I love it, man. Love it. Appreciate you as always. We'll see you soon, all right?
Take care, brother.
All right, good stuff. Let's go out to these comments and let's open up the phone lines. It's time for you to say what you want to say here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's get pumped up a little bit. I hear a little bit crickets right now. Of course, I didn't put up the number, so maybe that's the reason why. And we got Leo Haggerty on, so he's always good to listen to. Patrick Reed says, let's go. Let's fire those cannons for that. Let's go out to Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. Damn, bro, we miss AB. Cameron Decker, okay. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan legend. AB realized it was impossible working with Leftwich calling the plays. I don't think so, but I'll let you think that. I tell you what, let's go ahead and lead it off with this guy. Here we go. All right, Ed from Palm Harbor, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television on the meltdown at the Meadowlands. Your thoughts about BA, about AB, about the Bucs? Go for it.
I've been dealing today with a lot of stupidity on Facebook.
Really? Tell me
people,
some stories here. I want to hear this.
A lot of people are all of a sudden doctors, psychiatrists, neurologists.
Yes.
and they're diagnosing him with things they know nothing about.
Nothing.
Yours truly has a brain injury, had a brain injury, a traumatic brain injury at one time. And I got to tell you, I never behaved like that. Did I get depressed? Did I feel like I wanted to die? Yeah, maybe. Did I feel sick sometimes? Feel like I was, very irritable? Yeah, maybe. But never did I put myself on display like that. But then again, I'm not a superstar, so maybe it's a different mindset when you're a superstar.
Well, and also you haven't been conditioned, and I love how people say on Facebook, and I know what you're talking about, you're not perfect. No, I'm not perfect, but I've made a couple of mistakes in my life, not 20,000 mistakes. And you know what? Get a slap on the wrist. It's totally different, guys. When you try to say that, it sounds stupid. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what's wrong with him. There's something wrong with him, but I don't know if it's a mental thing or
he's a narcissist.
Thing.
He's a narcissist. Maybe he's taking too many hits to the head, but at the end of the day, he quit on this team, and we need to. I need to continue to drill that. And anybody who says, "Show me the proof of where he quit," he took off his uniform and he performed the Magic Mike ceremony. Okay, enough.
Right.
You guys are honestly out there in Facebook land. You are something else. It's either Facebook or Twitter. It's absolute sewage. Honestly, the sky could be blue, and you would try to say it's red or gray.
Yeah.
Sick of it, man. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, me too. And then they're trying to tell me that I don't know anything about a traumatic brain injury. I had a brain tumor removed.
Right.
That caused me problems. And I had a severe concussion from a car accident that caused me problems. So yeah, I've had my share of brain injuries. Trust me. And I never thought about doing what that guy did. Then again, I'm not a superstar. I'm not on the stage, where he is. Maybe he just thought that he had to go out with a bang. I don't know.
Right.
But
I mean, by the way, disrespecting the whole team in the process, disrespecting Mike Evans and OJ Howard, who are true professionals. Disrespecting the guy that stuck his neck out there on the line in Tom Brady. Great job. Way to go. You're awesome. Your rap song sucks too, by the way. And that is personal.
You can't make this stuff up.
You can't. Man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like the pit and the palace. Pit, not the palace. Brother, you are a snake. You are the king cobra in that locker room, my friend. You wrote a perfect song for you. Perfect, my friend. Perfect. You are a snake. You snaked every team. And everybody's like, well, why would he disrespect BA? Hello? He called Mike Mayock a cracker. He's insubordinate. I tell you what, Ed, how about this? How about we put each other, why don't we put each other in a situation? If you called your boss a cracker or you were insubordinate, do you think you would have a job?
Well, let me just put it to you this way. I played football from when I was 9 years old up until I was a senior in high school. And head coach is like God. You don't argue with him or you won't play. If you do argue with him, if he tells you to go out there and play, you either do it or you don't ever play. That's it. End of story. There's no argument. If there's something wrong, you don't physically feel up to it, you tell somebody about it, and you go from there. You tell the trainer about it. The trainer will evaluate you, and he'll decide whether or not you can play or not with your injury. And he'll go tell the head coach what's going on. That's it. There's none of this crap. Well, I don't think I'm going to play today, man.
Hold on, Ed. Let me put you on hold really quick. I don't know. Is this Michael? Michael, hold on a minute. We're got Ed on. We're going to finish up with Ed. We'll come to you. Stand by. Ed, go ahead and finish your point. Go ahead, Ed.
Okay. So, I mean, I just don't understand this whole scenario. I don't. There's a lot I don't know. There's a lot we all don't know. Unfortunately, BA is not going to talk about it.
Well, what's more likely? The Bucs forcing him to go in on an injury, or basically he's asked to go in at that point, and because he's butthurt, and I said butthurt, about Gronk getting the ball so much, he says, you know what? I'm taking my ball and go home. Because you know why? Yeah. He's done it before. It's a pattern of behavior, and you people are so friggin' blind to it. You're so friggin' desperate to see a conspiracy theory when it's not there. Just stay on YouTube forever. Look at every conspiracy theory. You're a dumbass. Go.
Yeah. this has got nothing to do with paying him money. I mean, they got him cheap anyway. So
yeah. I mean, like they didn't get his incentive last year, which, by the way, sacrificed Ronald Jones's 1,000-yard season because they wanted to get AB his balls last year, his catches. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. But
exactly.
But
the bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, until a doctor tells me different, he's just a diva. That's it. End of story. You know?
I agree.
He thinks he's better than everybody else on the team, the coaching staff, the all the way down to all the way up to the GM and probably the ownership too. So you just can't deal with somebody like that.
You can't deal with that. And again, Adam Schefter's reported that he is still part of the Bucs, but there will be a decision being made here pretty soon, and we'll have it for you. We'll keep you abreast of that situation.
Well, they probably want to make sure they get his money. They get money back from this.
Well, I think they want to suspend him. I think they want to either.
And that's what I was trying to tell you yesterday. I think what they'll probably do is keep him on the team, but deactivate him. I think John Gruden did the same thing with Deshaun Johnson.
Right.
When he got in. There's another guy right there. He got in the coach's face. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Ever.
You can't
not
be
in practice.
Yep.
Not on the field. If you want to go in the office with him, if he has an open door policy and talk to him like that, maybe you can get away with it then.
Do it in
but
private.
You're not
right.
Do it on the field ever.
Correct. All right, Ed, we got to run. I'll go ahead and use that second call if you want to. Let's go out to Michael here from Illinois. Michael, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
What's going on, baby? How you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. Hanging out here watching some Monday Night Football. Watching the Steelers beat up on the Browns 10-0.
Oh, okay. I know who this is, and I don't know why. This is Fat Mike. What's going on, Fat Mike? How you doing? Chicago 1252 Sports.
I was trying to be secretive.
Now I know that voice anywhere. And look, I saw your Facebook post, and I get it. I definitely understand, and I get it. If he were out there, the Bears would take him. But honestly, you've watched football for a long time here, Fat Mike. You've never seen anything like this. This guy isn't all right in the head, right?
Listen, I mean, it goes both ways, man. I mean, there's always two sides to every story, Peter.
Correct.
You know that just as much as I do.
Correct.
All right, but let's boil it down here. Is it Bruce Arians limiting what Antonio Brown could do? That's the big conspiracy theory. I hear you bitching and moaning about that. But is it just him being a dickhead? That's the thing that's the question in hand right now. Is it him being an asshole,
right,
or is it him being stricken down to what where they don't want to pay him? The bottom line is this, okay? Antonio Brown has been a problem maker in this league for the last 4 years.
Yep,
minimum. All right, and granted, I'm not a Buccaneers fan. And I was really hoping the Jets would have beat them yesterday. Oh boy, I was really hoping. All right, I was.
Shout out to Harry the Greek at 1252 Chicago Sports, because he was on Jacob Shournow's show, Hard Count Football Podcast on Sunday morning, and he was saying, "Look, the Jets could win this game in an upset. They're going to keep it close," and he was exactly right. He was exactly right. So that's the kind of platform you guys got going over there. Some great stuff. You're great. What you guys do over there, completely love it. And
thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing but respect.
What it boils down to, man, is that this Buccaneers team right now they're in shambles right now. They got to figure out this is not the same exact team. This is not the team that was last year. Plain and simple. It's not the same team. The defense is beaten up with COVID and injury. The offense is beaten up with COVID and injury.
Yep.
They got to figure this out really quick if you guys are looking for another championship down there, plain and simple.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to win that game on Sunday versus the Carolina Panthers, which once again, the NFL changed to 425. The same time the Rams are playing the 49ers. And look, if you take care of your business, as I always tell Buccaneer fans here, Fat Mike, then, let it take care of itself. And the San Francisco 49ers, 4-game win streak versus the Rams. In fact, I think you can call the Rams what the 49ers are to the Rams is what the Saints are to the Bucs. They've dominated that series. So
kryptonite.
Yes. And look, I am not on this Rams bandwagon. And the simple reason is Matt Stafford had a great start, but he has come back down to earth. He threw another pick six the other day versus Baltimore, which I guess was yesterday. I'm forgetting my days here. He continues to struggle, And I'm just wondering when somebody's going to catch him. I wonder when that team's going to catch him.
Well, it's coming close right now, especially out there in the NFC West. Man, that division's so tight, and you know, just much like you just saying, that division's so tight. It's like the Saints versus Bucs every week with every team that plays each other in that division every single week.
Yeah,
the Seahawks can upset you. The San Francisco 49ers can upset you. The Arizona Cardinals are playing out of their mind, and the Rams are a solid team as it is. That team, that entire division has been one of the best divisions in football over the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
All right. And any single time that you see an intra-division game in that division, it's a must-watch game because you don't know what the hell is going to happen, especially when a team is dog shit like Seattle's been over the last season.
Yeah.
They can go into town. They can go into San Francisco and whoop your ass. They can go into Los Angeles and smoke you. They can go down to Arizona and smoke you when it should be an easy win against a team like that. And that division is still up for grabs right now. We all know that the NFC right now boils between two teams to squeak in. It's the San Francisco 49ers and it's the New Orleans Saints.
Well, let me ask.
One of those teams is going to make the 7 seed, and it's going to be a very dangerous Week 18 coming up ahead.
I agree with you on that. We're on with Fat Mike of 1252 Chicago Sports. Mike, you look at this situation with AB, and I've heard this all day long on Facebook. You know, he's a human being, and you've made mistakes in your life. And I said, yeah, you made a couple mistakes. I didn't make 12,000. So kind of, put this in perspective for me. If you told your boss you called him a cracker or you disobeyed him, do you think you would lose your job or get suspended?
Well, I've called bosses much worse than a cracker before in my life. Let's be honest. I've told the boss to eat my fat hairy Polish ass one time.
Did you get fired afterwards?
I did get fired, and it was well worth it.
Right.
But I don't regret saying those words at all. Period. But like Antonio Brown right now, like you were saying, man, like it's something is going on with him. I'm not a doctor. I'm a few credits short of me being a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, like legit. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying it's CTE. I'm not saying it's anything else. All I'm saying is something is wrong with Antonio Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean it in a negative way. It could be, mental health, this, that, the other thing. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. All right. But something is imbalance with Antonio Brown, whether it be mental imbalance, emotional imbalance, something. All right. I'm not shitting on the guy.
Right.
Mental health plays a big stake in today's society. We all know it's a real thing. And something is going on with Antonio Brown that he needs to seek help for.
And I think there should be NFL teams that should step up, sign a petition, and not sign him until he gets that help. And that's what it comes down to. He's not going to play for the Bucs. I think he's going to be deactivated. Is that what you see for the Bucs going forward? They'll deactivate him or inactivate, make him inactive so he doesn't go to the Packers or the Cowboys to hurt them.
Well, Bruce Arians already said that he's pretty much cut. We already saw that statement yesterday that he is no longer a part of the Buccaneers. So whatever Antonio Brown wants to do, he can do, but I don't see a team seeking him out for a playoff run at all. I don't see that happening.
All right.
What I see for Antonio Brown going forward is what Josh Gordon has going forward for him ever since he failed 75 drug tests in a row.
Up in smoke.
That's what I see for Antonio Brown going forward. He'll try and get his shit together, and he'll catch a touchdown twice a year, and then he'll be off the team again.
Yeah, it's a shame because he's so talented, and on top of it, he has Hall of Fame numbers. You can't deny it, but more than likely, with all these antics off the field, that will overshadow his accomplishments at the end of the day. Speaking of accomplishments, if I can say the word, last night's show that you guys had there, Fred Hubner retiring, all that Chicago talent. I mean, hell of a show you guys put together on 1252. And the producer, of course, Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. What did you think of that last night?
It was beautiful, man. Fred deserves nothing but the best.
Right.
Listen, Fred Hubner is like, if for those that you guys don't know, Fred Hubner here in Chicago is an iconic sports voice. He's been up here in Chicago over the last 30 plus years. And anybody that hears him on the radio knows exactly who he is. And they all sit down and listen to Fred, because Fred is that guy that tells it like it is. He's like me, but PC. Peter.
Right.
He's PC. He doesn't tell somebody to go fuck themselves real quick. All right. I, on the other hand, do that very, very fast.
Yes, you do.
But Fred is Fred to my wife and I is, I mean, the guy is unbelievable. I love Fred with every ounce of my being. And I mean that. And that's an understatement. I mean, I wish I had more words that I can describe for Fred. And what Harry did for Fred last night and what David Sousa did for Fred last night was absolutely impeccable. I mean, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing, bringing on a bunch of former colleagues of Fred's and from the days of where you used to call in to see what the score of the game was on Sports Phone. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I appreciate everything that Harry and David did. It was absolutely, it was a beautiful thing. And man, I wish Fred nothing but the best in his retirement.
And I want you to comment on Jeff Dickerson, who was a big time influence there. Of course, died the same day as John Madden, but big time influence on ESPN up there in Chicago. Your thoughts on Jeff Dickerson?
Listen, and this is gonna choke me up, Pete. Like, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, man. I know there's a lot of people up there that, and look, you know, we had our guy down here that told it like it was. I listened to him when I was a kid. That would be Steve Dumick, and also Chris Thomas, who was funny on the radio. Those are the icons that you look up to that make you want to do this business. This is the reason why you get into this business and find a way to do it, because of those voices. So, you know, if you like to, you know, share a couple words and then we'll get you out of here. I don't want to, you know, make it emotional.
Right.
But I know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I appreciate it. I truly do, because I'm not someone that was super in touch with Jeff Dickerson in himself. I met Jeff Dickerson 3 times in my entire life. The very first time him and I were talking, he called me out and he's like, I think I know you. And I was like, I'm like, I think I know you too. And I couldn't put the face to the voice. And we were sitting there at a golf tournament that was at ESPN here, and in Chicago. And it was like hole number 6. And I was like, I'm like, that's who you are. I'm like, you're Jeff Dickerson. You cover the Bears. He's like, yeah. He's like, you're Fat Mike. And I was like, yeah, I am. And like, it was one of those things where it was like, and then we like, it was immediately that we just clicked and we started laughing, having fun. And then the next time I ran into Jeff, he sought me out and he was like, hey, Fat Mike. I was like, I'm like, hey, I'm surprised you remembered my name. You know, I'm a small peon up here, Peter. You know what I mean? I'm nothing big. I'm nothing fancy. I'm nothing, you know, I'm just a name. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm surprised you remembered my name. He's like, it's kind of hard. He said, it's kind of a hard name to forget. And, you know, we started laughing just that quick little second. And, you know, every time that I've met JD, he never made it about himself. He always made it about you. I mean, just a great dude. I mean, just beautiful heart, beautiful person. And it's so sad what happened to Jeff Dickerson. I mean, I met the guy 3 times, and talking about it now is choking me up. And I mean, he's just one of those guys where it's, man, if I could ever be half the person that Jeff Dickerson was or is, I'd feel great.
And I want to leave you with this. John Madden, your thoughts on him. I mean, not only was he the winningest Raider coach in all time, but a great broadcaster. Grew up watching him. You know, everybody wanted to use their hands. You felt comfortable with seeing Madden do it. You felt like doing it yourself. And then, of course, the video games later on, your thoughts of his legacy being an icon in the NFL.
There's 4 different versions of John Madden that people know. You either know John Madden, the coach, you know, John Madden, the the guy who, does Monday night and Sunday night football, John Madden, the guy that does the video games, or, John Madden, the guy that gives you foot powder to where he gets your feet from not being itchy.
Tinactin. Yes, that's right. What is it?
There's always there's 4 versions of John Madden.
Yeah.
You got the tough acting Tinactin, you got the you got it all.
The beer commercials
John Madden,
are classic.
Listen, John Madden.
Yes. The beer commercials are classic. His first one where he's trying to act like he's a straight man, and then he goes into his coaching ability, his coaching attitude. He's a cartoon character. It's great. It's great stuff. It's before its time.
Boom. Tough acting to that.
Boom.
You got it all. John Madden was amazing. He completely transformed the game into where the youth of today, I think that's the main reason of why football is the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Because not only he didn't create the video game, somebody came across and said, "Hey, listen, we need your name to this video game."
Mm-hmm.
That video game became a tremendous success, and because of his name, and it was all because of John Madden's name. And John Madden transformed what the youth and everything else did for football. There's so many different viewerships. There's so many different age groups that watch football nowadays. It's not even funny. That's why football is in the shape that it's in now, with just tremendous amounts of different age groups that fall in to watch football on a weekly basis, or play Madden on a weekly basis, or this, that, the other thing. I got shut out by a 9-year-old in Madden the other day. He told me I was gay.
Well, that's what happens when you go online. I mean, it's tough. It's tough competition.
This 9-year-old kid whooped my ass. Like, "You're gay." I was like, "Well, I guess I am." I don't know what to tell you. I just got my ass whooped 35-0. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks to John Madden.
Right. There you go. Madden opening up for a 9-year-old to disgrace you. And you think it's somebody your age. It's not. It's usually 9, 10, 11.
It's a 9-year-old. It's a 9-year-old homophobic asshole that whooped my ass in Madden. And that's just what happens. I guess that's what happens nowadays. So
all right, Fat Mike. Thanks a lot for your time here on the Evolution. Once again, 12:52 Chicago sports. Definitely tune into the Over Under on Friday nights. Plenty of shows on that platform, my friend. Thanks a lot for your time here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Thanks for having me, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. Great show.
Hey, man, thanks a lot. Appreciate you as always. Love the Chicago sports scene. Yes, don't freak out. I'm a Tampa Bay boy. I grew up on Tampa Bay sports, but when you didn't have a baseball team here, I watched WGN a lot. Just saying. All right. Wow, this is a blast from the past. I can't believe he's calling. Listen to this. Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Mr. Peter Blake.
Wow.
Hey,
look at this. Ray Kennedy. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. It was a crazy Sunday. It was a crazy football Sunday, but man, I'm telling you what, it's starting to look like it's going to be one heck of a playoff season, and I'm getting excited. The Bucs are getting warmed up. It seems like we're getting ready, and yesterday's win was pretty big, even with all the drama.
Yeah, with all the drama at that point, and I don't know if you saw my diatribe, a Leo word, on what I thought about Antonio Brown quitting, and all I've heard on Facebook and from everyone else is, well, he may have CTE, he may need some help, but at the end of the day, he still quit on this football team in the game when you're down 24-10. After Tom Brady stuck his neck out there, after BA accepted him. I get it. He was an instrumental part of them winning a Super Bowl, but you have an opportunity to not only get your incentives, and you decide to basically quit. Your thoughts on that whole situation?
Completely agree. It's to go back to the exact moment in the game. Cam Brate just gets the 1-yard gain. It's 3rd and 7. Bucs are down 14. That's the drive we got our touchdown on, which started the rally.
Correct.
At the end of the day, it's a team sport. There's 53 guys on that squad, 11 guys on that field, and I get there's problems, and there's injuries, and these players are dealing with COVID. We're all dealing with it as a society. We all have issues. The moment he steps across that end zone, regardless of what issues put him there, he put himself before the team. And at that point right there, I'm thinking, and Peter, I'm thinking you're thinking the same thing. At that point, I'm already cognizant of the fact that that cat's not going to be able to get on the team plane. And it's not that Arians is some kind of this, but he literally comes from the old Alabama and Bear Bryant coaching system. Coach him hard and hug him later. And regardless of what happened on that sideline, Antonio made that decision to walk across that end zone. And I'm telling you what, Pete, did you think for a moment that we could have actually gotten a team personal foul on that play, which would have put us at 3rd and 22 instead of 3rd and 7?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that refs didn't throw the flag, but I think everybody was shocked by it. In fact, I was watching the game, and I thought it was like a cut-in where they show before the game, but this was actually happening live, and I'm surprised that the Bucs didn't pick up a flag. I think everybody was shocked by it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've not seen this ever happen in my over 30 years of watching football. I thought it was completely disgraceful. It was embarrassing. And any fan out there saying, you know what, it's okay, we can have him back because he's talented, you're missing the point. He quit on you once, he'll quit on you again. He's done it in his past, he'll do it again. Enough. And like I said, he wrote a new rap song, Pit, Not the Palace. You are the biggest snake, my friend. You are a snake. You snake the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You snake BA. You snake Tom Brady. You snake this whole team.
Yeah, especially after he goes to bat for him, brings him back after the 3-week suspension from the fake vaccination card. And you know what? Hey, let's be honest. Pete, at the end of the day, and I don't know if you've covered this already, this cat, AB, phenomenal talents, got better numbers than Drew Pearson had. And let's be honest, the kid's had, or the guy, I say kid, I'm getting old.
Sure.
He's got numbers that could have put him in the Hall of Fame. And if he'd have kept it clean for one more season, possibly got another Lombardi or just got another contract with a team next year, I think there's an AB. But then again, considering what happened yesterday, how long could he have kept it clean? How long could he have continued to put team before self? It's a shame because at this point, Pete, I think you agree with me. There is absolutely positively no way, even 30 years from now, with a veteran committee, that this guy will ever see the Hall of Fame. And he's got the numbers that could have at least made
I think he'll make the Hall of Fame with numbers alone. I just don't think it'll be first ballot. I mean, I think it goes back to an Owens situation where Owens was upset and wondered why he wasn't first ballot. Well, because you made the selfish decision to make yourself into a character. And people remember that. People remember the sit-ups on the holdout on ESPN. People remember the story of you possibly trying to commit suicide. They remember that stuff. Media members remember that. They don't have a short memory when they're trying to vote. And that's what it comes down to. If you want to be a Hall of Fame player, you got to have Hall of Fame character. And I get people say, well, Lawrence Taylor, Lawrence Taylor after the fact, not necessarily during his playing career, still not great. O.J. Simpson, you can make some examples, but at the end of the day, most of these guys that are in the Hall of Fame have Hall of Fame character. Ray Lewis, sorry. We'll see. Nothing was ever found out, but you know what I mean. You got to have some type of character at the end of the day. And I always get into these debates about the baseball Hall of Fame because it's the same thing. And people go, well, there's Hall of Famers in there that don't have the greatest character. But if that is what one of the things or one of the key points to get into a Hall of Fame, you've got to abide by it. And if you don't, people don't forget it.
Pete, you just literally opened my eyes to this, because then I'll make a backward example of someone that we lost this week. And I'm not talking about John Madden. I'm talking about Dan Reeves.
Yeah.
Throws the 60-plus yard touchdown for the Dallas Cowboys in the Ice Bowl in Super Bowl I. Literally, changed the game. John, it gets fired from Denver, but he was at John Elway's side. Goes to the Atlanta Falcons. The phenomenal career that cat had. Still not in a Super Bowl. And the reason why you open my eyes to the fact that AB probably should and could make it someday is because of the same reason that Dan Reeves is not in there. Because when it comes down to it, the players vote for the players, the coaches vote for the coaches. And at some point you look at the numbers and you say, this guy had a career that put them in there. So, but I don't know, Pete, the thing is at this point, unless he really seriously reaches out for, and finds that help, or, I'm not saying he has to do it. We're not talking about image repair. We're talking about, you go back, this kid had a full scholarship to Florida International University out of Miami, or out of the, Miami area where he came up.
Yep.
And he doesn't even get to play it down there or attend a class because he has allegations of some problems. And then he has it throughout his entire lifetime. So, And I think I saw Harry Burke's comment earlier, and I tend to agree with Harry to Greek, is that, there are issues. You go to Bontes Perfect, you go to some of these issues that these wide receivers have getting that level, but
Sure.
it's also an entitlement issue with him. And I'm not.
It's conditioning. It's and people say, whose fault is it? The fans out there saying, yeah, it's all right. If he wins some games, catches some passes, he's a fast guy. We can't afford it. You look the other way, you condition a monster, he turns into a bigger monster because he started out as a monster. It's a pattern of behavior when you condition an athlete. I always go back to Aaron Hernandez. People say, well, why do you blame Urban Meyer? Because here is the coach that comes into your house and tries to convince the parents of saying, I'll take care of your kid. So why didn't he take care of Aaron Hernandez better? Why wasn't he kicked off the football team? Why wasn't he given the help before he turned into the monster when he got to the National Football League? And even Bill Belichick is in that whole conversation. I get it. People say, well, that's not fair. It is fair because college coaches are different. They're supposed to be not only guys that coach and recruit, they're supposed to be teachers. They're supposed to be father figures, and he, being Meyer, failed. He failed, and he's shown that he's a failure as an NFL coach, and he's not a father figure. He's a guy that's all about himself, and that's the reason why Aaron Hernandez, in my opinion, turned out so bad. Of course, you got to look in the mirror. If you want the help, you have to want to get the help. If you don't, then you continue on that same track, and more than likely, Brown is going to have to hit a point where basically he hits rock bottom. And I don't know when that rock bottom is, but I'm scared. I'm very scared to know what that is. And I think it's coming very, very soon. Very soon.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady had his back yesterday. We talk about Tom, greatest of all time with the numbers, reading the pocket, playing the game, the way he practices.
Hold on a sec. Let me put you on hold. Let me go ahead and go out to Curtis really quick. Curtis, we're going to put you on hold. We're going to finish up with Ray, and we'll come out to you, all right? Stand by. Ray, go ahead and finish your comment, and then we'll go out to Curtis.
Okay, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
I just wanted to go ahead and say that I think that Tom Brady, brought him in last year, put him under his wing, gave this guy a chance, and he really stopped the bleeding yesterday in the locker room when he said this guy needs help. And I think no one knows better than the people in the locker room. I always say that about Bruce Arians and Jason Light, the decisions that this team makes, so when Tom Brady reaches out and says that this guy needs help for whatever reason it is, whether it be mental or entitlement or whatever, at the end of the day, this guy needs help, and let's just hope he gets it, brother. And it was good talking to you tonight.
No, absolutely. Great talking to you, Ray Kennedy. Thanks a lot for calling the evolution of sports talk television. Real quick, what do you think about these playoff scenarios? You think the Bucs can land into that number 2 spot? You take care of business versus the Carolina Panthers, and you get a little help from the San Francisco 49ers. Think that can happen on Sunday?
Yeah, I agree with you. Matt Stafford's still showing me the fact that, this guy, he's got a great arm, but he hasn't got that defense locked down and still throws an interception. I think the 49ers play inspired football. The Rams take care of business, but then, you're going to have Sam Darnold coming in here. He's on $18 million on a cap for the Panthers next year, so he's going to come in here slinging the ball around. Matt Rule's going to have a plan. The Bucs take care of business. The 49ers beat the Rams, and I think we do get that number 2 seed, bro.
All right, good stuff, man. Thanks a lot for the call. Definitely don't be a stranger on the evolution of sports talk television. All right, boss?
Never, brother. Take care. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Absolutely. Let's go out to Mr. Curtis here. Let's go ahead and get his walk-up music on. Here we go. Yeah! All right, Curtis from Newport Richie, welcome to the evolution. What do you have to say about the whole situation with AB and, of course, what you find out today? Welcome to the Sports Web.
First of all, who effing cares? I mean, listen, we care because we want the news. We want to know what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not on the team anymore. It doesn't matter.
Well, he still is officially on the team now. Adam Schefter has reported they have not officially cut him yet. So we will see what happens. And I think it's, again, a couple of days away from a decision on what they're going to do. I think he's going to be inactive. We got a little surprise guest here once we finish up with you. This guy is figured out technology, if you will, because it looks like he's got a new laptop and everything. This is going to be surprising, but go ahead, finish up, my friend.
But, I mean, listen. I saw what Tom Brady said yesterday about getting him the help that he needs.
Sure.
I agree. And you know what? Listen, let me tell you something. My hat goes off to Tom Brady because he could have came out and said anything except for what he said.
Sure.
He was a class act, and he just shows that he actually genuinely cares.
Sure.
And, you know, when you have those kind of people in your corner, you need to appreciate those corners. And I'm not a psychic or anything, but I'm pretty sure him and AB have reached out to each other. I'm pretty sure they have.
Sure.
And we'll never know what that conversation is about. And, you know, I sat and I thought about what Brady said last night, and I hope AB does get the help that he needs. He really does. And like you were saying about Aaron Hernandez, there's a long list of NFL players that needed help and they didn't get the help that they needed.
Agree.
And you know, the world that we're living in now is, I'm not going to say the F word, but it's a little more jacked up than it was 20, 30 years ago. But
Sure.
we also, science and technology gets better, and, you know, we can help people with problems better now than we ever could before.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as a Bucs fan, you know, me personally, and I don't know how anybody else feels, I've already put it behind me.
Right.
And the reason I put it behind me is because I'm looking forward, because we still have our eyes on the prize.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a distraction. Yes, it's a distraction, but we cannot let this distraction make or break us. We can't.
No, I agree. And you can't afford to, dwell on this at this point, because if you do, then somebody will catch you in the first round or the second round and beat you. And you can't feel sorry for yourself because, Mike Evans is banged up. He's got to get healthy. Guys got to step up like Grayson and Johnson and Miller. We've talked about it. They've got to step up. Gronkowski, of course, you expect it. Cameron Brate, OJ Howard, and this running game has got to step up.
I love that you said that, because that's exactly. And I'm going to do a shout out to him. I love Ryan Clark on SportsCenter.
Isn't he great? I mean, he just tells it like it is. He really does.
He does.
Yeah.
Him and Booger McFarland, bro. I love those two.
Good guys.
And, he just was like, listen, what people don't understand is, even though they got Bruce Arians as a coach, you got Leftwich as a coordinator, you have a coach player in your quarterback.
Yeah.
That is he has proven time and time again what he can do with 2 or 3 tight ends.
Yeah.
And a running back.
Yes.
So if Fournette is 85%, if Le'Veon Bell can give you anything, and if Keyshawn Vaughn and Ronald Jones, and listen, it's a game to game. Whoever's hot, you gotta roll with them.
That's it. And who you trust on those third down. It's situational football, right? I mean, that's what the NFL is these days. Situational football about those matchups. Really quick, I got to get this guy on here really quick, but this is going to be cool, Curtis. Check this out. Whoa! Look at this. Leo Haggerty. What's going on? You figured out the video there, man. It looks clear as heck.
There you go.
I can't hear you there. You got to get your sound on. Your sound. Yeah, you got to figure out your sound situation.
I tell you what, though, the one thing that I would love to see us do is run a double tight end or even a triple tight end with Mike Evans as the single receiver, and then pound the ball with Fournette or whoever else.
Certainly think that's possible. I think you're going to have to change your game plan up. Curtis, thanks a lot for the call. I'm going to go out to Leo really quick. Use that second call if you want to, my friend. All right?
All right, brother.
All right. Appreciate you as always. Curtis there. Let me go out to Leo. Do you got your sound? You got your sound going together?
How's that? Any better?
Very good, my friend. That looks great.
Scary, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I got to agree with Curtis. It's like what we talked about. A lot of 12 and 13 personnel are going to show up because that's going to put one of those tight ends on a safety or a linebacker. Advantage Bucs.
Yeah, advantage Bucs, and boy, they can hear you loud and clear there. It's a little bit, I don't know what that is, a little feedback there. I don't know why that's there, so we got to figure that out. But it looks clear. It sounds clear at this point, besides a little feedback. With that being said, we talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, what do you think the likely scenario is for the Bucs to win that game versus the Panthers? Certainty, right? You win against the Panthers. Now, the other side of that is, can the 49ers upset the Rams, in your opinion, Are you buying the Rams? Are you buying Matt Stafford or not so fast?
I'm just not buying the 49ers.
Okay.
I don't think they can win that football game. And again, if the Rams win, the Saints may sneak in as that 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
So that becomes an interesting scenario there as well. But Peter, I don't know if you've seen the changes in schedule, but Philly and Dallas are going to play Saturday night, and the Bucs have been moved back to 425. So they're going to play at the same time as the Rams, because if the say the Buccaneers lose, the Rams are locked into number 2. If they played at 1 o'clock, the Rams could rest everybody knowing they're number 2. So it's I'm amazed the NFL has done this, because it's just, if you were going to play Saturday night, great. It should have been the two games from the NFC South or the AFC West, whatever, and then the Sunday night afternoon games. But the Sunday night game, and again, Peter, TV rules the roost. That's just the way it is.
It is. Can you give us an update on the score right now between Cleveland and Pittsburgh? What's going on in that game?
10-0. Pittsburgh is driving. Roethlisberger has already thrown it close to 40 times.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, you are going to see the number one highlight. Najee Harris just pulls a Derrick Henry straight arm on Stewart and just knocks him down. It's crazy. He's started to go out of bounds and then said, no, I'm going to run this guy over. Well, forget it. He just straight arms and knocks him down like Derrick Henry did.
Yeah.
That's he got posterized. But Peter, I just wanted to show you that from now on we'll be able to get this on. And thanks for putting me back on. So I will talk to you later.
That's the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions. It's Sports Mag, discovering technology. Welcome to 2022, my friend.
Hey, not bad for 68 plus, right?
I'm telling you, man. And I tell you right now, I always learn a lot about football from you. Like I said, you're like my grandpa I never had. I love having you on the evolution of sports talk television. Always welcome, my friend.
Anytime you'll have me, my friend. Talk to you later.
All right, there you go. The legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, on with us. Let's go out to the comments. Been neglecting the webhead. Sorry about that. But lots of stuff to talk about tonight. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs. Playoffs! Yes, hosting a game since 2008. How does it feel, Bucs fans? Are you jacked up? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready? 727-255-0391 at 727-255-0391. Let me go back out to Troy Polamalu, King Troy, Trojan Legend. SC. Well, I tell you what, Ed, hold up a minute. I'm going to read these comments, so be quiet. We'll get out to you in a moment. AB realized it was impossible working with Leftwich calling the plays. Troy Polamalu, what's worse, AB walking out or Myles Garrett smacking Mason Rudolph? We've seen crazier, bro, but not like that. This is from Rick Danford of the Sports Web. Fans of the Sports Web. Arian said that AB never even mentioned anything about an injury. He was just throwing a diva tantrum. Rick again. Colin Cowherd said on his show he pitched a fit because Brady was going to Gronk. To me, that is more believable than the injury situation. Let's hold on a sec here. Ed, hold on. Hold on a sec here, Jaquita. We'll go out to you in a moment. Ed, hold the line. Stand by. Okay. Greg Cole says the coach doesn't need to explain anything. Had it under control. Get in or get out. Simple quit. Dave says AB shows up for practice tomorrow. Not happening, but if it does, we will have it live here on the Evolution. And I'll pull out all my hair at that point. He's getting what he wants. He's the center of attention. Even in the national news, he's making lousy rap songs and having to put out little work. That's the bad thing about this. AB's bull spit overshadowed Brady's 93-yard game-winning drive. Well, we could talk about it, but we are talking about AB. We are talking about the big-time Bucs comeback over the Jets yesterday, and Johnson and Grayson were up to the task. Go Bucs! Fire them cannons! Hold on a second. Hold on. Roger Shue says AB is going to be on the Sports Web soon to explain his side of the story. Sounds good to me. Catch us live on. No, we're not. We're not on NSPN anymore. Georgia wins it all, says Harry the Greek. He should know. I would take Harry's advice all day long over mine. Like I said, don't take my betting advice. Take Harry the Greek. Of course, we'll be on the over-under Friday night, 9 o'clock, 12:52 Chicago Sports. Rap Sheet reported it started in the locker room and at halftime. Harry says, not too many hits. This has to do with the Steelers changing his name to AB. Remember, T.O., the bottom line is this. I don't think this is a sickness. This is a self-entitled punk. Just my opinion, and I agree with you on that to a certain degree because of his actions. It's a pattern of behavior, and it's gone on throughout his life. Hey, what's up, Skinny Mike? David Murphy says, AB has issues that transcends football. I truly hope he gets the help he needs. Christopher Cole, AB is at an NBA game tonight. Congratulations, Sandra Nagel, my future agent right there, my mother. Go friend and like her on Facebook, watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web. Roger Shue, I love Fred. David Murphy, put the 81 jersey on Ciro Grayson and play ball. I like the idea. R.I.P. JD. Let's see, whatever that is. David Murphy says Vincent Lombardi passed away in 1970. Is it time to rename the trophy to the John Madden Super Bowl trophy? I'm not sure. I always thought it would be Bill Belichick's trophy, honestly, but Vince Lombardi, I think, will transcend through time. It's a good point. Ben Cornett says, I got an interesting question here. Hold on, Ed. What do you guys think with AB not playing it down again for Tampa? Does that have a positive or possible effect on Brady's relationship with Arians? I say that because Brady went to bat for AB over and over, was responsible for keeping AB here, whereas Arians last year said one strike, he's gone. He had the one strike with the fake vaccine card and was kept on the team. I'm sure Brady's word had more leverage than Arians when it comes to personnel from the offense. And I think BA knows that relationship, what Brady was trying to do. I don't necessarily think, if you will, that this is a contest between BA and Brady. Of course, they have their own egos. I don't think their relationship is ruined. I honestly think they know they need each other. I know there's fans that say Brady doesn't need BA, but BA needs Brady. Brady needs BA, and they all need Byron Leftwich, believe it or not. I know Troy Polamalu, King Troll right now, besides Roger Shue, is going to laugh at that. Leo in the house. Roger Shue says AB for GM, and here's what you get for that. And Jerry, Rebecca, your dreams online. Your dreams are online here on I Love St. Pete. It's the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Let's get this guy on here. Here we go. Turn your radio down. All right, Ed using his second call from Palm Harbor. Go ahead. Welcome back to the evolution of sports talk television. What do you have to say, my friend?
I just saw on Facebook that there was a Antonio Brown sighting at a Nets game.
Great. He went to the Nets game. Awesome. So he stayed in New Jersey. Great.
Yeah.
Great place. Why don't you just go play for the Jets? Go play for the Jets or the Giants. You know, both disasters. You guys disasters deserve each other. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to help either one of them get to the Super Bowl.
No, I definitely don't think so. But it would be nice. It would be funny to see AB catch passes from Jake Fromm or Napoleon Dynamite being Mike Glennon or Daniel Jones or whatever quarterbacks they have there.
On Mike Glennon.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why are we so hard?
I mean, he kind of reminds me of Larry Bird the way he looks.
Okay, I look. Larry Bird is full of greatness. Napoleon Dynamite, come on, man. Come on, man.
It's not his fault.
He's done absolutely nothing ever since he's left the Bucs besides take everybody's money. I don't know how he gets jobs. He's a backup quarterback. Good for him. But he's
smart. He's
smart guy. He is. He's stealing all kinds of money. Stole the Bears' money. Stole Arizona's money. Stole the Raiders' money. And now he's stealing money from the Giants. Congratulations. There you go. Good job.
So,
yeah.
What's the running back situation? Is it good for the Bucs this week?
Well, Ronald Jones has an ankle injury. BA said he's going to update that in the next couple of days. And of course, Keyshawn Vaughn has some rib problems. So Le'Veon Bell coming into those critical situations on the screen, getting some good carries, of course, being a part of that 2-point conversion, which was explained that they didn't want to take a chance to go for the extra point because they thought the Jets may block the field goal, tie up the game. So they went for the 2-point conversion. Of course, it worked out. But Bell's stepping up, and they hope to get back Giovanni Bernard here possibly this week and hopefully next week to start of the playoffs. So the running back situation right now, kind of up in the air, but BA said at best we'll have somebody out there. Who is that? I don't know who it is. We'll see.
I think they're going to probably bring in another wide receiver. I don't know who it is. Could be Larry Fitzgerald. Could be somebody, but I think they might bring in another wide receiver.
I think they're happy. I think they're happy with what they have. I honestly do. And with Tyler Johnson stepping up and Grayson stepping up and his development, Mike Evans getting healthy, Scotty Miller knowing the offense. Keep in mind, look, it's all well and good to bring in a Larry Fitzgerald, but understand Fitzgerald's going to have to learn the offense. You're going to have to develop that chemistry with Tom Brady. Well, he knows somewhat of the offense, but it may be a little bit different than it was in Arizona. And on top of it, you have to develop that chemistry with Tom Brady, and that takes time.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Anybody you bring in, they're going to be a chemistry issue for a little while. But yeah. But I think they might end up having no choice, really, to bring somebody in. I'm not sold yet on those guys. Those guys had a pretty good game yesterday. I mean, especially Grayson. He had a great game. Zero just he kept burning his guy with his speed. You give him a straight ahead.
Sure.
You give him a nice straight ahead route, and he's going to burn him with speed. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
But he gets up against a corner that has above average speed. He might have trouble. But neither here nor there. They're going to have to. I think they're going to have to bring somebody in just for depth at this point. And also the situation. I think they need to get. They need to find out what Bell's got left before the playoffs. Find out what he's got left, how you're going to use him in the playoffs, because you got to use him for something. I mean,
well, I think they're going to use. They don't anticipate using him as a bell cow runner, but in those situational football situations, if you will, situational football, when you have third down and you need a running back that you can depend on that's going to be able to pass protect or go out and catch a pass for a screen like they did yesterday, that's the guy you could see. And especially with the injury situation, that's up in the air right now. Leonard Fournette is hurt. We don't know if he's going to be back or not. We don't know what the status of Ronald Jones is. So they very well may be depending on Bell. But look, Bell's had a couple years here where, those tires could get a little bit rested. We'll see. Tom Brady can make running backs. He can make, excuse my language, chicken salad out of chicken shit out of chicken salad, if you will. I mean, that's Tom Brady. Hey, just give him the components and he'll get it done.
So how is it that I know your co-host that you had on earlier was talking about how the Saints could get in ahead of the Bucs in the seeding. How is that possible when the Saints cannot get a win-loss record above the Bucs? There's no way.
Well, no, they can't win the NFC South, but there's a possibility they can get into the playoffs. They just have to take care of their business and have some teams in front of them lose. And let me go through these really quick while you're on the phone. And this is from BucsNation.com. Again, the Bucs are 12-4. They are the number 3 seed right now. The Green Bay Packers, of course, locked up the top seed. Home field advantage yet again with their win over the Minnesota Vikings, which the Bucs and the Rams will be battling for the 2nd seed. So the Bucs right now would be hosting the 6th seed San Francisco 49ers as of right now. However, there's plenty about to change. With the 49ers and Rams facing off in Week 18, a 49er win means the Bucs, given the Bucs win, would move ahead of the Rams to become the 2 seed. And that scenario would be the Philadelphia Eagles coming to Raymond James Stadium. Also, that would be a 2-7 matchup with the Rams would host the 49ers for the 2nd consecutive week. That's unless the Cowboys beat the Eagles on Saturday, in which case the Cowboys move up to 3 to face San Francisco and the Rams drop to 4th and face the Arizona Cardinals. You got all that? There's a quiz afterwards. I'm just reading this off of here. All right. Speaking of the Arizona Cardinals, if they were to defeat the Seattle Seahawks in addition to the Cowboys, 49ers and Bucs winning, the Cardinals move to 3 and win the NFC West. The Cowboys drop to 4 and the Rams become 5. All right. Let's say the Saints beat the Falcons. The Rams beat the 49ers. But the Bucs, Cowboys, and Cardinals all still win. That puts the Bucs at the 3 seed, still hosting the Falcons, while the Rams would host the New Orleans Saints, and the Cowboys and the 4-5 matchup would host the Cardinals.
Oh man, that just gave me a headache, man.
Right. I mean, there's so many scenarios, but you got to love it. This is the reason why you got an extra week, right?
I don't like this new playoff format. It's just
playoffs. Just take care of your business, Ed. Just take care of the Carolina Panthers, win your game, and hope for the Rams to lose to the 49ers. You got the number 2 seed. Who cares about the Saints? Who cares about them?
Using the old playoff format, no matter if you get 1 or 2 or 3, you would.
Well, it used to be 2 bye weeks with 1 and 2, but now it's not. Yeah. And the reason why they did that is because of this type of situation for week 18. Now you see their method in their madness.
Yeah, they're trying to make these last few weeks of the season relevant.
Aren't you excited? Aren't you entertained? Don't you want to watch? Okay.
I am very
like last year.
I'm entertained every time I watch my Bucs play, but
right.
That's not the
but
point.
Football in general, you're going to have football you're going to have football on Saturday, you're going to have football on Sunday, you're going to have wild card on a Monday night. I mean, it's great. Yeah. It's awesome.
I mean, they need to simplify it like they need to simplify the tax code, man. I think it's just too much.
Well,
wrap my head around.
I don't even know about the tax code. I'll get my taxes done the last couple years.
That way.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. If you were to put all the tax code on paper, it would take 2 semi-trucks to fill up the paper, and they would fill it up. So, yeah, they need to simplify the tax code, and I think they need to simplify this playoff scenarios. But anyways, it is exciting. You know, people are crying, okay, well, this is the nail in the Bucs season, that it's over now. It's not. Because I'm going to say this, and I've been watching Brady for a long time because I had to, because he was on my fantasy team. Before he came to the Bucs, he only had one really good, above average, good receiver for years. After Gronk quit, and he went to 2 Super Bowls with that guy, and and won them. So I don't know what people are worried about. I'm not worried. Now, he did it with a good defense, though.
Right.
They had a great defense. So our defense is going to have to play better going forward, and they're going to have to get healthy. There's no doubt about that. But if they can do that, then I believe the Bucs can still win the Super Bowl and be 2-time champs, and they would be an elite company then. They would be what you would almost call an elite franchise, because not too many teams in the NFL have won back-to-back Super Bowls.
Well, I mean, it hasn't happened since 17, 18 years ago with the New England Patriots, 2003, 2004. So, Brady's got it's got that thought in the back of his mind. And of course, that's what you want to accomplish at the end of the day. I think the Bucs are an elite franchise, especially with Brady being a part of it. But you're exactly right. You would like to repeat. And of course, you would like to repeat because nobody will be able to say, well, you won a COVID Super Bowl, so it's a fluke. No, it's not. It's not a fluke at that point. But they got to take care of their business.
Haters are still saying the last one was a fluke.
They could say whatever they want to, but it's still a Super Bowl at the end of the day. They won Super Bowl 55 at Raymond James Stadium, the only team in NFL history to win.
I'm talking about the one in 2002. People are still saying that.
Well, that's not a fluke either. That's ridiculous. That's not a fluke. There's nothing about that was a fluke. That defense was one of the most dominant defensive units that nobody talks about in their run. That 10-year period was amazing.
I don't understand why they're not all in the Hall of Fame, especially Rondé Barber.
Well,
I don't get that.
Barber's a finalist, so we'll see if the NFL Hall of Fame calls his name. David Baker is knocking on that door for Rondé Barber. That would be a hell of a thing, especially with the Bucs most likely being in the Super Bowl this year. I still believe in Tom Brady. They got to clean some things up. They got lots of work to do. They got to take care of it, but they got to get healthy on both sides of the ball. Anything else?
They're not going to be full strength on both on the offense.
Well, you're not going to have Godwin, of course. He's out, but I'm saying, you got to get healthy, right? With Fournette, and of course, Fournette would be one. Ronald Jones, that could be an injury. You need to be healthy on all sides of the ball, especially defensively. Missing your edge rushers there with Shaq Barrett, JPP, and of course Levante David. Those linebackers, you need them. So Good
Yeah.
stuff, Ed. Thanks a lot for the call. Thanks a lot for the second call. Appreciate you as always. Let me go ahead, open the phone line up. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Somebody tried to call in. I don't know who the heck this is. So let's go out to them and see who they are. Here we go. Let's go ahead and see. We'll go ahead and call an unknown number. Hopefully it's not a telemarketer. I don't think they telemarket at 10:30. Chiquita Knock. Who is this? Hold on a sec. Let's go ahead and call here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television live on I Love St. Pete. Gotta love calling people back that don't expect it. All right, I guess they're not there. How about that? Let's listen to an answering machine, shall we? All right. Maybe there's not an answering machine. Would it stop ringing?
Please leave your message for 813-539-9724.
Let's leave him a message. You called my sports talk show, the Sports Web, the Evolution Sports Talk Television. Definitely call back. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Maybe they'll call back. Maybe they won't. Maybe they have the wrong number. Who knows? Who cares? Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So it's very simple, Bucs fans. Win against the Carolina Panthers, take care of your business, and then hope for the 49ers. All right. Let's go out to Alex from Baltimore. Alex, welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. What do you got to say, man?
Pete, I got to change my number, man. I don't live in Baltimore, man.
You don't live in Baltimore anymore?
No, I live in Largo, man.
Largo? Really? How come you haven't come out to some of the previous watch parties?
I know. I need to make it out there. Maybe this Sunday, man. Maybe this Sunday.
Well, we'll see, because we're not with that platform anymore. We're with another platform, but we'll see how that goes. Alex,
you send me the invite, I'm down, brother.
All right, sounds good. Alex, what do you got to say tonight, my friend?
Man, well, now that everybody's calmed down, I just want to give my final thoughts on the AB situation.
Okay.
And,
all right.
Kind of put it to rest. So first of all, I've done some research and done some evaluation. And,
okay.
I do think, I'm praying for the guy if he has any, mental issues. I don't know what his background is. I don't know anything about that. So no matter what, rather he's with the Bucs, which according to Arians is very apparent he's not coming back.
Right.
But then again, the comment he made in the press conference today about putting in the hands of Jason Lank, I don't know.
Jason Light, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But either way, I hope the best for the guy. I don't think acting ignorant on the way out the game is appropriate. I think if you're gonna quit after the game. So I think, like I said yesterday, I think it kind of made himself look pretty shitty. I would be shocked if any NFL team picked him up. They got to be stupid to pick him up. That's my personal opinion. If they do pick him up, he needs to get help first. Get some help. I still wish the best for the guy. I know everybody's hot and upset, and I know you and I put our take on it yesterday. I'm still feel a little bit the same, but I still hope for the best for the guy. I would never want,
Well, look, I think we all hope for the best for the guy, but the guy's got to hope for the best for himself. Again, he's got to want to take the time and the initiative to get help for himself. And he's had problems throughout his career, whether it was, understanding authority, going against Mike Tomlin in the playoffs, going Facebook Live. People say that's not a big deal. It is a big deal, because when your coach, when your subordinate tells you something to do at your normal job, if your boss, Alex, tells you something to do you tell him to go F himself?
I mean, absolutely not. I don't, but I'm gonna tell you this because I know you asked this question earlier in the show.
Sure.
And I want to answer this the way I would see it out there. In today's world, people do it and get no discipline. In today's world.
Well, maybe that's the reason why we got all the problems we got. Maybe we're so
absolutely. Pete, I agree. Peter, I agree with you. But in today's world, it's crazy. But do I think as an NFL professional football player making millions of dollars, I'm not, you can't compare that because I'm just a normal, everyday, middle-class man, but as a professional NFL player, you absolutely should not act that ignorant during a game. If you're going to act ignorant, do it off the game, do it off the field. Bring your coaches, bring your bosses aside in this case and say, look, this is the problems I have. I don't appreciate you pulling me out of the game, even though there's multiple conflicts. So I don't know what happened on that sideline. I really don't. I don't know the story. I've heard stories that he refused to go in. I heard the story that Arians asked him to go in. He refused to go in, and vice versa. So I don't know what happened on that sideline. Whatever happened, he had a mental, emotional breakdown. And I hate to see it because it makes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers look like shit, makes the franchise look like shit, and it makes our players who, like I said yesterday, went out there, balled out, and still came back and won that football game.
Agreed.
So when it comes to Antonio Brown, I wish him the best. I would be shocked if he's definitely not coming back with the Bucs. I'd be shocked. I expect him to be either deactivated off the roster or put on something to maybe clear some space or something. I don't really know how that works, but I expect the move to be made probably by tomorrow. I assume they hold practices tomorrow. So I assume there would probably be announcements by tomorrow of him being either deactivated or I don't know how that works.
Okay.
But on another topic, I still want to comment about the game yesterday. I think we played a shitty first half, but it was awesome to see after everything else that happened and transpired in that incident. It was awesome to see us have a great comeback, man. It really was good. It says a lot about the team. It says a lot about Tom Brady and his leadership and his ability to say, you know what, we can put that shit aside and come back and win a game and have a great football game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this team is all about. And I think that's why Bruce Arians is preaching, forget the bullshit, come out here, let's play some damn football.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. Well said, my friend. As always, a great call here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Anything else?
I'll tell you one thing, Pete. It's going to be a wild weekend of football, man. It's going to be a wild weekend.
Did you hear all those playoff scenarios? Did you hear all that? What you got to do? I mean, when it comes down to the Bucs, you got to win your game, and you should win against the Panthers because you absolutely blasted them a couple weeks ago, 32-6. But you got to hope for the 49ers to beat the Rams. Consequently, like our friend Leo Haggerty said, that has been the kryptonite of the Rams, the 49ers. So we'll see if the 49ers can pull that upset.
All I care about is this. All I care about is this. This is all I care about, Peter. I don't want to see one or two things happen. Number one, I don't want to see the Saints make it. And number two, I don't want to see the Bucs facing the Saints or the Rams. That's it. Anything else, I'm down. But I just don't want to see our season on the line.
Let me go ahead and put you at ease here because I'll read more of these playoff scenarios. Now, the long and short of it, regardless of the outcomes on Saturday and Sunday, the Buccaneers only have 3 possible opponents in the wild card round. You ready? Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Arizona. To get these results, there are 3 key games outside of the Bucs versus Panthers we have to focus on. Philadelphia versus Dallas, Arizona versus Seattle, and Los Angeles versus San Francisco. In order for the Bucs to face Arizona, there are 2 scenarios in both. The Bucs would have to lose to Carolina, and on top of that, other winners would have to be the 49ers over the Rams and the Seahawks over the Cardinals. Got it?
So long story short, as long as the Saints don't get in there, I'm personally happy.
I think there's a lot of Bucs fans that definitely would be happy, especially with the last 2 performances the Bucs had. Good stuff. Let me go ahead and give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let me give you the woo. And let me go ahead and fire the cannons. Appreciate you as always, Alex. Thanks a lot for calling the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. All right, my friend. Good stuff as always. He brings it. I like that. That's what we say here on the Sports Web. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm fired up. Are you fired up? It's Victory Monday.
Yes! 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 Yes!
All right, Ben is still on that narrative. It's a collective effort between BA and Light and a little bit of Brady. I think they all need each other, Christopher Cole. Ben is a funny guy, and I like him, but I do know that he believes that Brady does run this organization, and I think he has a big part of it. But again, BA, that coaching staff, and especially Byron Leftwich. Bucs and the NFL are working together to decide what to do with that situation, as they should. So we went through the situations. I want to say this show is brought to you by BetUS.com. BetUS.com. And let me put that promo code up there, BetUS. The promo code is TSW22. And call up on that line, 1-800-69-BET-US. Again, 1-800-69-BET-US. And use that promo code. You get 125% sign up bonus by using that bonus code, whether you want to bet on the NFL, the NCAA, NHL, NBA. Once again, promo code TSW22. Once again, that is for the Sports Web open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Somebody sent this to me by the name of Amanda Gonzalez. Not even a football fan, but she just wanted me to realize how many incidents AB has had in his life. Did you guys forget? Let me go ahead and remind you. Yes, I'm going to try to read every incident at this point. Kicked out of Florida International University after fighting a security guard. Don't touch me, I'm the franchise. His second year in the league, he took a personal stretch limo to a charity event, had them open every single expensive bottle of wine, rejected it, refused to pay for it. Oh my gosh. You mean to tell me that this is not the first time he stiffed somebody? Oh, amazing. Unbelievable.
Yes!
Okay. Again, pattern of behavior. That's just 3 incidents in here. 3 or 4 incidents. 3 fits over nothing, not getting enough targets. Drove 100 down McKnight Road in Pittsburgh, which had 45 miles per hour. Hey, that's okay. You've got speeding tickets before. Yeah, 100 over 45. Trashed a condo, threw furniture out a window, 14th floor window, which almost hit some people, notably a child. That's okay. Living his life. Killed a home aquarium full of piranhas and refused to pay the man who installed the tank. Once again, he didn't pay for what he was supposed to pay for.
Here comes the money.
Amazing. Pattern of behavior. Refused to play the Week 17 for the Steelers. Where have we seen that before? Oh, wait. Dyed his mustache blonde. Refused to pay a chef because he thought he threatened him by placing a fish head in the freezer. The fish head was saved to make a soup. Awesome. Should I go on? Farted on a doctor. Demanded a trade from the Steelers. Became Mr. Big Chest. Threw a fit over Juju winning team MVP and trashed him on social media. So not only has he quit on his team in the past, but also trashed his teammates. Sound familiar? Oh, it does. I'm pointing out facts. This is not opinion. This is facts. Thank you, Amanda Gonzalez. Allegedly, nixed a trade that would have sent him to the Bills. Showed up to the Raiders training camp in a hot air balloon. Who doesn't want to do that? I mean, who doesn't want a player to show up in a hot air balloon? And I get it. You know, individuality. You have your own style and swag, but a hot air balloon? Really? Okay. Held out and refused to show up for training camp because the NFL would not approve his helmet because it was too old for their safety standards. Froze his feet. Froze his feet. Really? Okay. Shall we go on? Let's do it. Tried to paint over his old helmet, hoping no one would notice, I guess. Acquired a newer version of the same model of helmet, which the NFL refused to let him use. Where have we heard that before? He tried to get a fake helmet and a fake vaccination card. Pattern of behavior. If I were an attorney right now, this case would be closed. Shall I go on? Okay. Picked out a new helmet and finally showed up to the Raiders. Got fined by the Raiders for not attending camp. Once again, quitting. Tweeted the fines. Let's go on. Tried to fight Mike Mayock, called him a cracker, had to be held back by Vontaze Burfict, who many people feel like calls this CTE, which we don't know. Then punted a football down the practice field and said, "Fine me for that." Got fined for that. Good job. Released a video where he used audio of John Gruden, who didn't know he was being recorded, which is illegal in California. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Huh? No? We want to deny that? You want to still defend this guy? Shall I go on? Why not? I could be here all freaking night. Because all I've heard from people is, you're not perfect, you made mistakes. Yes, I have. One or two in my life. Again, not 20,000. Let's go on. Let's seal the deal, shall we? Demanded a release from the Raiders. Was released. How could you not? I mean, the Raiders were an abominable organization with John Gruden running it, but even they knew he was a cancer to that locker room. And John Gruden was a fan of him. Remember? They gave up 2 first-round picks, but still, people defend him. So we shall go on. Grandma, I'm free. Fly like a free. Made a lot of crazy tweets saying stuff like devil is a lie. A proverb about burning down a village. Made a lot of crazy tweets around this time in the point here. Like the tweet about Mayock getting, wow. Not going to even say that one. Signed with the Patriots. Moved in with Tom Brady. Sexual assault allegations came out. The one where he's getting sued. Sexual harassment allegations came out. The one where he's getting sued. Threatened the woman not suing him in a group text. That included his lawyer and had a picture of her kids in the text. Great job. Awesome. Got released by the Patriots after 1 week. Went off a tweet storm and said a lot of crazy stuff about a lot of people and was supportive of people sending threat to a writer of an article detailing the sexual harassment allegations. Shall I go on? How many chances does this guy get? You know, people go, well, you know, you're too hard. You're a hater, man. You're a hater. You hate on people, Pete. Let me tell you something. I don't hate on anybody. I tell it like it is here on the Sports Web. I do. I'll tell you my story. I'll tell you where I went to jail. And then you're going to be able to equate where I'm going with Antonio Brown. You see, a long time ago, I was also a little punk. I decided to drive my car with my system up and my rims. I decided not to yield to an emergency vehicle. Peter thought he was hot shit and didn't pay the ticket. Guess what happened to Pete? Peter got into the system. Because of a mistake, I got to go to jail with driving with a revoked license. Now, it's neither here nor there the county making that mistake because I should have paid the ticket in the first place. You see, that's what it's all about. It's about accountability. You got to be accountable for your actions. I keep on saying this over and over again. You condition an athlete the way a lot of you do, a lot of the way the coaches do and the organizations do, this is what you get. You had a monster, you have a bigger monster. The point is, if I would have nipped it in the bud and not got into the system, then I wouldn't have went to jail. I was fortunate. I had a mom out there that defended me, got my license back, and got my life on track. True story. You think I'm making this up? I'm not. It takes one incident, guys, one, for normal people like ourselves. For an athlete like this, I mean, how many allegations, how many chances do you give somebody before you realize that this is who they are? 3 things. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. We'll see you on Wednesday night on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Stan Arthur here for the I Love St. Pete Facebook group. If you're a business owner looking to connect with tens of thousands of potential new local customers, you owe it to yourself to get enrolled in our Key Tag Rewards program. Since 2019, we've signed up more than 200 local merchants. Sponsor opportunities are available too, such as our group banner ad and even your own custom key tags. Just go to stpetekeytag.com, get enrolled, and get ready to get busy. stpetekeytag.com.
Merry Christmas. Say, I love football. Say this. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Tampa. Tampa. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Say Tampa. Bay. Bay. Oh my God, she's so smart and she's so precious. I love her to death.